Hello and welcome back to your English class. We were studying the chapter Lost Spring and we were discussing the stories and struggles of the less privileged children. So, in the first two parts of this video, we have heard the story of Sahib, and from the last video onwards, I was discussing the story of Mukesh. So, where Sahib's story was that of a rag picker, and he is struggling to eat 2 meals a day. We are again studying the story of Mukesh, where Mukesh is working in a bangle factory where it is illegal for the children to work because of health hazards. It's not very safe and it's not very um, hygienic and healthy for children to work in a closed atmosphere with lots of smoke and fire. So, though it is not allowed legally, but still children work in the factories to earn their bread and to live a normal life. Mukesh's father uh, was also working in one such factory, and his job is to make bangles, and that's what he has taught his children. So, going to school or studying in good schools or living in proper houses, it's beyond the dreams of these poor people. Yet they survive each and every day, and they are quite, I wouldn't say happy, but they are quite comfortable in the way they are living because they know that that's the only way they can earn a living and live in whatever circumstances that are available to them. So, just continuing the story, uh, the writer has gone to Mukesh's house and he has met the daughter-in-law of the house who was cooking, and he has met the father and the brother also. Let's read ahead. It is his karam, his destiny, says Mukesh's grandmother, who has watched her own husband go blind with the dust from polishing the glass of bangles. Can a God given lineage ever be broken? She implies. Born in the caste of bangle makers, they have seen nothing but bangles. In the house, in the yard, in every other house, every other yard, every street in Firozabad. Spirals of bangles, sunny, gold, paddy, green, royal blue, pink, purple, every color, born out of the 7 colors of the rainbow, lie in molds in unkempt yards, are piled in 4-wheeled handcarts, pushed by young men along the narrow lanes of the shanty town, and in dark hutments next to lines of flames of flickering oil lamps sit boys and girls and their fathers and mothers, welding pieces of colored glass into circles of bangles. Their eyes are more adjusted to the dark than to the light outside. That is why they often end up losing their eyesight before they become adults, right? So you can imagine it is so dangerous that working in, जो कांच होता है उसको आग में गला गला कर उसको बैंगल का शेप दिया जाता है. और जो मुकेश की ग्रैंड मदर है, शी सेज दैट दैट इज़ द वर्क दैट देयर फैमिली हैज़ बीन डूइंग सिंस एजेस. सो उनके पास कोई चॉइस नहीं है क्योंकि वो उसी फैमिली में पैदा हुए हैं जो बैंगल्स बनाते हैं, तो वो उनके पास यही काम का चॉइस है. तो वेदर दे लाइक इट और दे डोंट लाइक इट, दे हैव टू डू दिस वर्क. And he's saying, she says that even my husband had gone blind working in such circumstances. इसलिए बच्चों का वहाँ पे काम करना मना है, इलीगल है, क्योंकि क्लोज्ड एनवायरनमेंट में और अंधेरे में और आग जलती रहती है उस सिचुएशन में, और बैंगल्स को कंसंट्रेट करके उनका शेप देना, उनका डिज़ाइन बनाना, that takes a toll on your eyes. And by the time as years pass by, you become blind. By the time you grow up into a person, into a man or a woman or a grown up person, you tend to lose your eyesight. So that is why it is very dangerous. It is not good for health. But she says being born in a family of bangle makers and especially staying in Firozabad, which is famous for its bangles, they have no other choice but to do this work. Another story. Savita, a young girl in a drab pink dress, sits alongside an elderly woman, soldering pieces of glass, as her hands move mechanically like the tongs of a machine. I wonder if she knows the sanctity of the bangles she helps to make. It symbolizes an Indian woman, suhag, auspiciousness in marriage. It will dawn on her suddenly one day when her head is draped with a red veil, her hands dyed red with henna, and red bangles rolled onto her wrists. She will then become a bride, like the old woman beside her, who became one many years ago. She still has bangles on her wrist, but no light in her eyes. एक वक्त सैर भर खाना भी नहीं खाया, she says in a voice drained of joy. She has not enjoyed even one full meal in her entire lifetime. That's what she has reaped. Her husband, an old man with a flowing beard, says, I know nothing except bangles. All I have done is make a house for the family to live in. Right? तो एक और जैसे मुकेश है वैसे सविता भी है and she is making bangles and it's so ironic कि उस पद में the writer feels कि पता नहीं उसको उन चूड़ियों का importance पता भी है कि नहीं, क्योंकि Indian custom में it is a sign of a married woman, it is a sign of सुहाग. जो शादीशुदा औरतें होती हैं वो हमेशा हाथ में चूड़ियाँ पहनती हैं कि ये एक साइन है कि वो कि उनका हस्बैंड है, ज़िंदा है, सही सलामत है. एंड one day will come when even Savita will be married and she will be wearing those bangles like the old woman who was sitting beside her. And the old woman is still wearing bangles, but unfortunately she has gone blind working in those factories. And very sadly, the writer writes over there, a voice drained out of joy. मतलब ऐसी आवाज़ जिसमें कोई भी खुशी नहीं थी, जिसमें खुशी का एक अंश भी नहीं है. तो वो बोलती है कि इतने सालों से कभी भी एक वक्त का भी खाना पूरी तरह से पेट भर के नहीं खाया है. So that's so ironic because they have given everything, even their eyesight, for to earn a living which is not enough for them. So that is very, very sad. And he says that her husband also is sitting there and he has a flowing beard and he says that I know nothing except bangles. मुझको चूड़ी बनाने के अलावा और चूड़ियों के बारे में पूछो तो मुझे सब पता है, उसके अलावा मुझे कुछ भी नहीं पता है. And that's the only way that I have earned money enough for us to exist. मतलब इतना भी पैसा हम नहीं कमा पाए कि हमको खाना मिल जाए या दो कि एक घर बना सकें या कहीं हम बाहर जा सकें या फिर अच्छा कपड़ा पहन सकें. दे हैव मेड लॉट्स ऑफ सैक्रिफाइसेस क्योंकि उनके पास सिर्फ इन कंडीशंस में वो एग्जिस्ट कर रहे हैं कि कभी कभी सिर्फ एक ही वक्त का खाना नसीब होता था. So that has been quite a sad state of affairs, but unfortunately they don't have any choice and they have to do what they are doing. Hearing him, one wonders if he has achieved what many have failed in their lifetime. He has a roof over his head. The cry of not having money to do anything except carry on the business of making bangles, not even enough to eat, rings in every home. The young men echo the lament of their elders. Little has moved with time, it seems, in Firozabad. Years of mind-numbing toil have killed all initiative and the ability to dream. Why not organize yourselves into a cooperative? I ask a group of young men who have fallen into vicious circle of middlemen who trapped their fathers and forefathers. Even if we get organized, we are the ones who will be hauled up by the police, beaten, and dragged to jail for doing something illegal. They say there is no leader among them, no one who could help them see things differently. Their fathers are as tired as they are. They talk endlessly in a spiral that moves from poverty to apathy to greed and to injustice. Right? So, uh, the writer goes on to tell us कि हर घर की यही कहानी है फिरोज़ाबाद में. हर घर के पास खाने के लिए इनफ नहीं है. हर घर किसी न किसी मुश्किल से they are going through some or the other problem. And then she asks one of them that why don't you all, when you all make the bangles, then why don't you all start your own business and sell things directly? Because middlemen होते हैं, यानी कि जो चूड़ी बनाता है वो किसी दूसरे आदमी को बेचता है और वो बीच का जो आदमी है, जो मिडलमैन है, वो जाके मार्केट में उसको डबल द प्राइस में बेचेगा. जितना अमाउंट बैंगल मेकर को मिलता है उससे दुगना अमाउंट उस मिडलमैन को मिलेगा. तो जो लड़के हैं, जो मतलब कि उनके फादर्स भी वही काम करते आए, उनके दादा परदादा वही काम करते आए हैं, एंड दे आर सेइंग कि अगर हम लोग ऐसा कर भी देते हैं तभी भी हमको किसी न किसी चीज़ में फंसा दिया जाता है. ये कह दिया जाता है कि ये तो काम ही इलीगल है, तुम कैसे कर रहे हो. इन लोगों का काम करना मीन्स some ways these middlemen create. तो middlemen तो बच जाते हैं, but the repercussions of the police and of the thana and of the beating by the police, all these people have to go through, and they don't have any leader who will support them or a group who will support them. So it's very sad, it's unjust, it's that they can only talk about it, they can only share all these pathetic stories with us, and it moves. The stories are all of people who are suffering from poverty, जो गरीबी से जूझ रहे हैं. काम है पर इतना वो काम उनको इतना पैसा नहीं देता है कि वो अपने ज़िंदगी एक अच्छी तरह से गुजार सके. So that is the state of affairs, but that is the reality. Listening to them, I see two distinct worlds. One of the family caught in a web of poverty, burdened by the stigma of caste in which they are born. The other, a vicious circle of sahukars, the middlemen, the policemen, the keepers of law, the bureaucrats, and the politicians. Together, they have imposed the baggage on the child that he cannot put down. Before he is aware, he accepts it as naturally as his father. To do anything else would mean to dare, and daring is not part of his growing up. When I sense a flash of it in Mukesh, I am cheered. I want to be a motor mechanic, he repeats. He will go to a garage and learn, but the garage is a long way from his home. I will walk, he insists. Do you also dream of flying a plane? He's suddenly silent. No, he says, staring at the ground. In his small murmur, there is an embarrassment that has not yet turned into regret. He's content to dream of cars that he sees hurtling down the streets of his town. Few aeroplanes fly over Firozabad. So it's the writer says that जो हमारी he compares कि जो हमारी society है वो दो parts में बटी हुई है. First part is of this these two, not I would say parts, but two worlds. First world where this little boy is, surrounded with caste. Not only this little boy, but many are surrounded with caste system, with poverty. And the other person and the other world is of the sahukars, this middlemen, policemen, politician, and so on and so forth. And these children are born and brought up in this manner. So it becomes little आफ्टर सम टाइम दे उस चीज़ में वो ढल जाते हैं और नेचुरली फिर उसी इन्वायरमेंट में बढ़ने लगते हैं जहाँ उनको पता है कि हाँ वो लोग सपने नहीं देख सकते हैं। एंड लेकिन फिर भी ये मुकेश बोलता है कि मैं मोटर मैकेनिक बनना चाहता हूँ, और वो लेकिन वो जहाँ लर्न करेगा वो जगह बहुत दूर है उसके घर से, तो एटलीस्ट ही डेयर्स टू ड्रीम। और ऐसे कई बच्चे हैं जो ऐसे सिचुएशंस में जी रहे हैं, बट दे डेयर टू ड्रीम ऑफ डूइंग समथिंग गुड, बट वी डू नॉट नो whether their dreams will come true or not. So with this I end this lecture. The notes will be sent to you in the next class. So till then, take care of yourselves and meet you in the live class. Bye.